guys, welcome back to my ASMR channel. Let's do a 10 more things you don't know about me video. I put this together the other day because I thought, well, we haven't done one in a while. I just did the one and I kind of want to do another one. So let's get into it. And I'm thinking of making it a gum chewing one. So let me get my bubble gum. Alright, so let's start with number one. Number one thing you might not know about me is my body is acclimated to the ocean. So to the temperature of the ocean water. Meaning I can go into the ocean with no wetsuit. I've never worn a wetsuit. I've never even owned a wetsuit. One time when I was on vacation in San Francisco with my roommate, we went to the beach and it was like April, I think, and the water in San Francisco is colder than the regular beaches where I used to live. But anyways, I went and me and my roommate went to the beach. I think it's like, I don't know, it's like 50 something degrees over there, the water. And anyways, we went to the beach and I remember I was like sunbathing first and we had like this big umbrella and he was doing something. I don't know if he was like parking the car or something, and I was like laying out and I kind of had unbuttoned my bikini top, and this has nothing to do with the water yet, but it's just a funny part of it. So I'm like laying out and then all of a sudden this big old wind comes and like blows the umbrella far away, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like topless basically. So I like grab my top and I'm trying to like get up, but I'm like, how am I gonna run after this umbrella with my top unbuttoned, you know? And this was before I had my breast reduction surgery, so it was even worse. So luckily my roommate was coming back at the time, and then he like grabbed the umbrella and brought it back to me. And I'm like, oh my god, I was gonna die. But anyways, everything was fine. I got my top back on, and then I'm like gonna go swim. So I like run into the ocean, I go swim, and I'm coming back from swimming and I see him on the beach, on the sand, sitting in a puddle. Okay, you guys, I literally like was about to pee my pants because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, get in the damn water. But he wouldn't, he just wouldn't. So literally imagine you walk back and like your friend is literally sitting in a puddle like a baby. Because I guess it was warm. It was a warm puddle. You guys, I died. Anyway, it was so funny. We still talk about it to this day, but I wish I like took a picture of it. That's how funny it was. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. Like, my body's acclimated to the ocean water, but I can understand, you know, it's not for everyone. I get that, but I'm gonna say it's just because I grew up at the beach. I was like constantly in the ocean, so and my body runs hot, which I've mentioned before. So I'm gonna say that's the reasoning for it. But anyway, the other day I was like hanging out with a friend, and they were like, oh, we were walking at the beach, and they were like, have you ever surfed? And I'm like, no, I don't know how to surf. And they're like, well, have you ever worn a wetsuit and gone swimming? And I'm like, no, I never worn a wetsuit. They're like, even though you haven't surfed, like, have you gone swimming with a wetsuit? I'm like, no, I don't need a wetsuit. That's why I haven't gone into the ocean with a wetsuit. Oh my god, it's so funny. But anyway, that's number one thing you didn't know about me, or might not have known about me. Some people might have known it already. Okay, you know what? I did the same thing at Carmel when I went with family to Carmel, and it was like not summer, and I went in the ocean as well, and I think the water for them is pretty cold up there. Okay, anyway, let's go on to number 2. Okay, number 2 thing you didn't know about me is I believe that I was born like knowing my type, like my type of person that I want to date, or that I'm attracted to, I guess. And the reason I think this is because like I remember being in kindergarten, and I remember hanging out at recess with my friend Mary Lou, and I remember there was like 2 other boys playing, and one was light skin and one was dark skin. And I told her like, which boy do you like? And she's like, oh, the light skin one. And I'm like, okay, good, because I like the dark skin one. Like, I'm in kindergarten, how do I know what I like? But fast forward to my whole life, and now I still go for dark skin guys. That's just how it's always been. I don't like discriminate in any sense. I date any culture, and I've dated all cultures probably, but and I am attracted to other cultures, but it's like for some reason I always go towards the dark. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 3. Okay, number 3 is that I read and write and speak Armenian, but I speak English to explain myself. So, even though I'm bilingual, and Armenian was my first language, I don't even think I spoke English till, even when I went to school, I probably was struggling. I went to preschool and then kindergarten, so I probably didn't speak English, I'm guessing, when I started. But so my parents were really strict, so in the house, like, you could only speak Armenian, you couldn't speak English or whatever. They speak like 5 languages, but you can only speak Armenian in the house. And whatever language they speak, I guess. So, because I started to speak English better, and like my thoughts were in English, and I would explain things easier in English, so English sort of took the forefront in my brain, right? So because of that, and them being so strict and saying we can only speak Armenian in the house, I stopped speaking, right? Not like completely, obviously, but like maybe I would say some Armenian words here and there, but like I could not for the life of me explain myself in Armenian, so I just like wouldn't speak. And then my mom realized this one day when she needed me to like explain something, and I just couldn't do it in Armenian. So finally she's like, just speak English. And ever since then I speak to my mother in English, and she speaks back to me in Armenian. So if you're looking at it from the outside, it might look funny to you, but that is how we speak to each other. But my Armenian and their way of speaking, my family, it's like mixed with so many different languages. Because they speak so many different languages, everything's kind of mixed. So it could be mixed with like French and Arabic and Turkish. So I know words in those languages as well. So I still speak and read. I can still read and write and speak in Armenian. I taught preschool in Armenian, so it's still fine. It's just that English takes the forefront for me and the way that my brain functions. And my mom actually, well, some of the people in my family, they actually can't read and write in Armenian, but because I was put in Armenian school when I was really young, like every Friday we had to go to Armenian school, even though we went to like American school. So because of that, I learned to read and write, and yeah, she reads and writes in like Arabic and French or something, and English, because in their household, I think they spoke Arabic growing up, Arabic maybe, and maybe French, and then she So when I was little, they would speak Arabic to keep secrets from me and my brother. And because of that, now I understand Arabic. I can't really speak it, but I understand it. Now, my brother, who grew up in the same household, cannot do that. And I'm not sure exactly why, but I just realized that the other day when I was like, you don't understand what, Mom's saying. And he's like, I don't understand Arabic. And I'm like, how do you not understand Arabic? Like, we grew up in a house full of people speaking Arabic. So, I'm not really sure what happened there. I just realized it because I thought this whole time that he did understand a little bit. But I guess not. The only thing I can think of is maybe women are just more nosy, So, that's why I picked up on it. And he just didn't care. Alright, where are we? I think number 5. Okay, when I jumped back into the dating scene a couple of years ago, I had to make a chart for my best friend. Because she had my location, and she would know every time, like, I went on a date, or where I was, or what I was doing, or whatever. And then she's like, I'm getting confused with all these dates. And, so I had to make her a chart, and I literally made her a chart of their pictures and, like, their stats. So, I think I made her a chart of, like, 4 guys. And then I put, like, one of them's a bodyguard, but we don't know if he's hetero. The second one I wrote, like, he's a basketball player, but he's too young. The third one I wrote needs anger management. And then the fourth one I wrote nice dates, but he's kind of boring. Needless to say, she was very happy about it, and she was less confused than when we started. So, it was a good thing. Okay, number 6. I am the black sheep of my family. And as far as I know, the first non-married female to move out of the house at 21, or at all. Not without a fight, but I still moved out. I lied and said that I was going to college. I had gone to college, but I lied and said I was, like, continuing college. And then I had to go live, like, off-campus dorms or something. But I actually just moved in with a roommate and just worked and lived life. Tried to figure out life at the time, which was really hard, but this is what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be independent and on my own, I think one of my cousins moved off to college many years later. So she'd be like the second female in our family to move, but that's all I can think of. I think I was the first to be like, I'm out of here. Okay, number 7. Half of my family is still in the Middle East. I met them when I was 5 years old. And again at 12, and again at 16 by flying over there to the Middle East, 20 hours. And I probably won't get the chance to fly back there again, but I do see them sometimes here and there. Some of them have moved to different countries by now. So some of them are in Canada, some of them are in Armenia. And some of my family is here, but I see some of them, like I've seen some of them over the years, but just like a handful that maybe came to visit here for like a minute. So mainly we like FaceTime and we are on social media. So before social media, we were not really able to see each other in like a FaceTime way. We would call, we would have like calling cards. We would go to the gas station, buy like a calling card or something, and you would put in like 20 numbers to call, and it was always crazy. But now we pretty much can FaceTime and things like that. It's not the same as anyways, when he walked away, I was like, oh my god, that's my limits. Anyways, in that same lounge, I served Michael Keaton, who was very nice as well. They're both very nice. And in that same airport, when I was working at a different bar, Demi Moore walked in and bought a Red Bull from me. Now, again, I didn't notice it was her when she first came in because she was just like dressed casual, like jeans and a flannel. And it took me a minute, but the minute like she spoke, you know, that lovely raspy voice that she has, I knew. I was like, oh my god, it's Demi Moore, but super sweet. Again, very nice. So I could do a whole nother video on like celebrities and stuff, just for fun. But you do see a lot of celebrities when you work at the airport, so that's what happened there. Okay, number 9. I did not really understand that I was American until I was like maybe 20 years old. So, like I said, my parents were really strict. We had like a really strict culture. So I just thought like I'm Armenian or Middle Eastern, and like that's what I am. So I didn't really know that I could say like I'm American. Y'all, I'm American citizen, born here with an American passport. But I didn't know until like the security in the France airport got mad at me. When I was traveling abroad with my girlfriends, we went to Europe and for like a couple weeks, but we stopped in France, and like the airport security was like so mad at me because in my passport, in my American passport, mind you, where it said, I don't know if it said like nationality or citizenship or what it said, and I wrote Middle Eastern. I don't think they do that now, like where you write in the passport, but or was it the passport? I think it was the passport. Anyway, this was like 27 years ago, but I wrote Middle Eastern, and he was mad at me, and he's like, you're American, you should write American. I'm like, oh, honey, I did not know. Okay, I'm new to this life. So anyway, I changed it and like moved on with my life. But I remember also when I was like 12 years old going through that airport to get to the Middle East, and I remember another French security person throwing like my cousin's passport back at him, and then my cousin throwing it back at him, and it turned into like a brawl, like a passport throwing brawl. And I was like yelling at each other because my cousin at the time, he had a Yugoslavian passport. I don't know what the rules were at the time. I don't know what was going on, but I just remember them throwing the passport back and forth to each other. And I was like, what is happening? I think I was like 12 at that time. But anyway, they finally let him through as well. They let us all through. But, you know, I've had some silly experiences in that airport. Okay, so that was number 9. Number 10. Oh, we're down to the last one. I didn't realize that. Okay, I have this weird thing where I like to eat like the outside of things. I don't know if it's like a condition or something. It's a condition. Everything's a condition. Okay, so I like to eat the outside of stuff. So if there's like a chocolate or something that I don't like the middle part of, I will eat he started cracking up, and he's like, only in LA. Only in LA will you find an Armenian person and a Japanese person speaking Spanish to each other. And I'm like, you might be right. You might be right about that. But it's so funny. So I actually caught him on video saying that, and us both cracking up. I should post it somewhere, but oh my god, it's so funny. But yeah, sometimes you don't realize